Hey everyone. Ever get that feeling like there's just not enough time in the day, like you're always juggling a million things?
I know that feeling.
Work, life, you name it. What if I told you there's a city out there where you can actually, trade time?
Whoa, trade time.
It's called New Paradigm, and today we're taking a deep dive into their crazy economic system. It's called, get this, the TIME system.
TIME.
Yep. Time, ideas, money, and energy all kind of mixed up together.
That's definitely different.
So we've got regular money, sure, but then there's this other thing, this energy currency. They call it magic. Apparently, it powers like everything in this city.
Magic. That's a pretty interesting name for a currency.
Right. And it all ties back to time somehow and ideas. To be honest, I'm a little lost here. Can you help me out? How does this whole TIME thing actually work?
Okay, so imagine magic, like the fuel. It powers these AI agents they've got a new paradigm called fixies.
Fixies. What are those little robots running around fixing stuff?
Not exactly. Think of them more like super-powered digital assistants.
Like a way better version of Siri or Alexa.
Yeah, something like that. They can manage your schedule, brainstorm ideas, all sorts of things.
Hold on. So instead of wishing I had more hours in the day, I could just, get a fixie to handle stuff for me.
That's the idea. They even have this temporal exchange where you can literally trade time.
Okay, wait, explain that. How do you trade time?
Basically, it's like having a digital twin that can work, learn, even be creative for you. And while they're doing all that, they generate more magic for you to use.
Whoa, a digital twin, huh?
Yeah.
So let's say, hypothetically, my digital twin is writing a killer podcast script, right? And while that's happening, I'm off learning to, play the guitar or something. I'd be earning magic, even though my twin is doing the work.
Exactly. And you could use that magic to power more fixies or pay for stuff, or even convert it back into regular money.
So it's like you're earning while you learn or while you relax or whatever.
Yeah, it's a whole new way to think about productivity and value.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. This is like next level multitasking. But it also seems like it could be huge for society, right?
Absolutely. Imagine everyone having access to this kind of AI assistance. It could level the playing field, give people more time to pursue their passions, develop skills.
It's like everyone gets a personal assistant and a creativity coach all rolled into one.
Yeah, and because the system's built on this closed loop, energy and value are constantly flowing, Yeah. It creates this really dynamic and efficient economy where, theoretically, everyone could benefit.
Okay, so time, ideas, and money, we've got those swirling around in this system. But what about the energy part of TIME? Where does that come in?
Well, the magic, it's generated through various activities within the city, contributing your time, coming up with ideas, basically participating in the economy.
So it's like a reward system for being an active member of the community.
You could say that, yeah. The more you contribute, the more magic you earn, and that gives you access to more resources and opportunities.
It's like a video game, but in real life. Level up your skills, earn rewards, and use those rewards to unlock even more possibilities.
That's a great analogy. Except instead of just racking up points, you're contributing to, a real thriving society.
I gotta admit, I'm starting to get excited about this. But is this all just utopian fantasy? Can a system like this actually work in the real world?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's definitely a bold vision. There are bound to be challenges. But the fact that we're even having this conversation, imagining these possibilities, shows we're starting to think differently about the future of work, economics, society.
It's pushing boundaries, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But how would it play out in a real-life scenario? Like, say I decide to open a bakery in New Paradigm. We'll call it Time for Dough. How would this TIME system actually help me out?
Okay, time for dough and new paradigm. I like it. Well, as a bakery owner, you'd have this whole army of fixies ready to make your life easier, make your business better. What's the first thing you do? Welcome back. Still thinking about that bakery. Time for dough.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, as I'm picturing myself, living in New Paradigm, there's something I keep wondering about.
What's that?
What happens to all the regular jobs? If everyone has these fixies doing everything, it's like, what's left for actual people to do?
That's a big question, and it's something a lot of people worry about. How does work change in a place like New Paradigm?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are we talking mass unemployment, robots taking over everything?
Not exactly robots taking over, no. It's more about a shift, The kinds of jobs people do would be different.
Different how?
Well, think about it. As fixies get better at handling all the routine stuff, the repetitive tasks, it frees up humans to focus on things that AI isn't as good at.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Things that require creativity, for one, critical thinking, solving complex problems. Those are areas where humans still have a big edge.
So it's not humans versus AI. It's more like humans and AI working together as a team.
That's a good way to put it. Collaboration, right? Each side brings its own strengths. Fixies, they're great at efficiency, precision. Humans, we bring the ingenuity, the intuition, all those things that drive real innovation.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about people who, like, aren't that tech savvy or don't have the resources to get access to these fancy AI systems? Wouldn't that create a whole new kind of digital divide?
It's a valid concern, for sure. And it's something the folks who designed New Paradigm thought about. Remember that UBI resource pool thing we talked about earlier?
Vaguely. Remind me.
It's a system they have to make sure everyone has a certain baseline level of magic, no matter what their income is or what skills they have.
So it's kind of like universal basic income, but instead of money, it's that energy currency, the magic.
Exactly. The idea is to level the playing field, give everyone a chance to participate in this new economy. And it goes beyond just the magic, too. They've also got tons of education and training programs so people can learn the skills they need to succeed in this, AI-powered world.
It sounds like New Paradigm is really trying to tackle some of those big social problems we're grappling with today. Income inequality, lack of opportunity, things like that.
Absolutely. It's a vision of a future where technology can actually help to empower individuals, make communities stronger, create a more equitable society for everyone.
Okay, starting to get the bigger picture here. But I'm still curious, what would everyday life actually be like for someone in New Paradigm?
Well, imagine this. You wake up, but you don't have that huge to-do list weighing you down, all those little tasks, scheduling appointments, paying bills, even things like grocery shopping. Your fixies are taking care of it.
So you could wake up and literally just decide, today I'm going to learn how to paint, or today I'm going to spend time with my family, or whatever.
That's the idea. It's about reclaiming your time, having the freedom to focus on what matters most to you.
I could definitely get used to that. But wouldn't everyone just, sit around and watch TV all day? I mean, if you don't have to work as much, wouldn't people get kind of lazy and unproductive?
It's a common worry, but I think it comes from this idea that people are inherently lazy, that they need to be forced to work. But humans are naturally curious, right? We like to learn, we like to grow, we want to contribute to something bigger than ourselves.
So even with our basic needs met and more free time, you think people would still be driven to find purpose and meaning?
I really do. In fact, this TIME system, I think it could unlock so much human potential that's currently being wasted. Think of all the talented people stuck in dead-end jobs just to get by. What if they could use fixies to handle that stuff and finally have the time to pursue their dreams?
We could have this explosion of art, music, scientific breakthroughs, you name it.
Exactly. And because everyone benefits from that creativity and progress, it creates this positive feedback loop.
Okay, I have to say, this is all starting to sound a bit utopian. Too good to be true, maybe. Even with the best intentions, don't you think there could be some unintended consequences?
Of course, no system's perfect. There are always things to watch out for. One concern, for example, is that people might become too reliant on AI.
Yeah, I get that. It's like we're so attached to our phones these days, we can't remember a phone number without looking it up.
It's a real risk. We need to make sure humans stay in control, that technology is a tool for us, not the other way around. It's about finding that balance, using AI to enhance our lives, not to replace our own abilities.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between the human and the technological.
Exactly, a harmonious relationship where both sides thrive. And I think New Paradigm offers a really interesting model for how that could actually work.
This is also fascinating, but it definitely raises some ethical questions too, like who owns the magic that the fixies are creating? And what if someone uses their fixies for bad stuff?
Those are crucial questions, and they show why we need to be really thoughtful about how we design and regulate this kind of technology. In New Paradigm, transparency and accountability are key.
Meaning?
Well, for one thing, all fixie activity is tracked, it's monitored, and they have strict rules to prevent misuse, to make sure things stay ethical.
So it's not like a free-for-all, everyone just doing whatever they want with their AI.
Right. There are systems in place, safeguards. And there's constant research and discussion going on about the ethical implications of AI, how to create a framework that works for everyone.
It sounds like they're really trying to think this through, anticipate problems before they happen.
Yeah, they are. But there's another social aspect to consider, too. If everyone's spending more time in this digital world, interacting with their fixies, Will we become more isolated from each other?
That's a good question. I mean, we're already spending so much time online. It's easy to feel disconnected sometimes.
In New Paradigm, though, they try to use technology to actually enhance social connections, not replace them.
How do they do that?
Think about using fixies to organize community events, coordinate volunteer projects, even just facilitate conversations between people who share interests.
Instead of scrolling through social media alone, you're using technology to actually connect with people in a more meaningful way.
Yeah, exactly. It's about bridging that gap between the digital and the physical, creating a more vibrant, interconnected society.
Wow, this is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
We've only just scratched the surface of New Paradigm. But before we go any further, maybe we should take a moment to recap what we've learned so far.
Sounds good. We've covered a lot of ground.
We've talked about the basics of the TIME system, how fixies work, the impact on jobs and everyday life.
We've also touched on the ethical side of things, the importance of responsible AI development.
And we've started to imagine what it might be like to live in a world where technology is used to empower people, create a fairer, more fulfilling society.
It's a vision that's both exciting and challenging. But ultimately, I think it comes down to this question: what kind of future do we actually want to build?
That's the big question. And that's what we'll be diving into in our final segment. So stick around. Welcome back to the show, everyone. We've been exploring this incredible futuristic city called New Paradigm.
Where time isn't just money, it's a whole new kind of currency, part of this TIME system.
Exactly. Time, ideas, money, energy, it's all connected. And we've got these digital twins, these fixies, doing all sorts of things for us.
It's a pretty radical concept.
It is. And last time, you left us with this question: what kind of future are we trying to create? That really got me thinking. New Paradigm, it's not just about fancy technology, is it?
Not at all.
It's about using that technology to actually make the world better.
I think that's the core of it.
Right. So we've talked about all the cool stuff like increased productivity, more efficiency, but what about the human side of things?
Ah, yes.
If we had this TIME economy, what would it do to our relationships? Our sense of purpose, our overall well-being?
That's where things get really interesting. Think about it. A lot of the stress we feel today, it's because we feel like we're always running out of time, right?
Ugh, yes.
Yeah.
Constantly rushing, juggling a million things, never enough hours in the day.
Exactly. But in New Paradigm, the whole concept of time is different. You can essentially buy back your time, delegate those everyday chores to the fixies.
And that frees up your mental energy, your emotional energy.
To focus on what really matters to you.
So instead of feeling exhausted and overwhelmed all the time, people would actually have the time and energy to connect with their loved ones, explore their hobbies.
Learn new things, be creative, just relax and recharge.
I love that idea. Shifting from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance, it could be transformative.
Imagine how much happier, healthier we could be.
Like finally being able to breathe.
Yeah.
But it's not just about leisure, is it?
Nope.
It's about having the freedom and the resources to really pursue your passions, to learn and grow, to actually make a difference in the world.
Exactly.
When people feel valued, when they feel empowered, they're going to be more engaged, more productive in every aspect of their lives.
I completely agree.
So it's a win-win, right?
It could be.
People have more time and freedom, and society benefits from all that creativity and energy. But I know you're thinking it. No system is perfect.
There are always challenges.
What are some of the things we have to be really careful about in a place like New Paradigm?
Well, we've already touched on one big one, the potential for over-reliance on AI.
Right. Getting so used to our fixies doing everything that we forget how to do things for ourselves.
Exactly. We need to stay in control, make sure technology serves us, not the other way around.
And what about inequality?
Yes.
Even with that UBI resource pool, it seems like there could still be disparities, right? Some people having access to better AI than others.
Absolutely. We'd need systems in place to prevent abuse, to make sure things stay fair, and to promote social mobility so everyone has a chance to move up.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about building a society that uses that technology in a responsible and ethical way.
100%. We're talking about creating a world where everyone can thrive, no matter who they are or where they come from.
This new paradigm, it might be fictional, but the questions it raises, they're really important.
They are. It all comes down to choices.
What kind of future do we want to build? We have the power to decide.
That's the exciting part.
It is. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into New Paradigm. I hope you all found it as fascinating as I did.
Me too.
It's a reminder that the future is not set in stone. It's something we create together.
And that's a powerful thought.
It is. Thanks for listening, everyone, and keep those imaginations running.